Hello. So my name's Laura and I am 26 years old and I suffer with arthritis and non-epileptic seizures with anxiety. But some people have asked me to do some video blogs explaining my conditions and what's going on and how you can keep going even though you do have off days, but you keep going. Not saying that you have to keep going. I know some people who don't, I know some people who do, but you can still do stuff, and I don't like to hear I hate the phrase because I've heard it so many times in the past, and I think it's rubbish, and that is there's always somebody worse than you don't put it on anybody else. Now, this to me is wrong, because everybody has their own problems, and everybody's problems are worse for them. And I think this makes mental health worse. What you can do is say, let's talk about this, or be there for them, or if you have your own problems and they have theirs, you can say, at the moment, I can't help you, but I go to somebody who can. If you are having problems and you can't talk to your friends because they're just basically going, don't talk to me and all this, please seek help. Doctors are brilliant, GP practices, the Samaritans as well. See somebody, talk about it. During lockdown it's quite hard for people, especially with coming Christmas, but that's mental health side of it, so we're going to talk about that one for a bit. That's just my feelings, and I'm going to talk a bit about pain somewhat. So I was diagnosed when I was 7 years old with something called hypermobility and arthrogryposis. So hypermobility means too much movement, and arthrogryposis means less movement. So basically what that means is one side of my body is going, woohoo, let's do what we want, and the other side of my body is going, come back elastic band sort of thing. And so my ankles have fallen over and they are not straight as anybody else, so that's how did it all get diagnosed? So mine is genetic, a branch of my dad, because my dad has something called multiple genetic skeletal disease, which means all joints are affected. They didn't realise this when I was born. I did have my feet benched and clenched, but they said with exercise it should come out, and Mum thought not of it. I went to a French gym party when I was 6, and I jumped up a 2-foot high jump horse and landed correctly, but promptly broke my leg. Broke my tibia. Going through pot work and everything, and going to go see the doctor afterwards that you got to go see when you break your leg, and they said there were problems, so they took me to have insoles in my shoes and left me with them for 6 months and noticed problems, so they sent me to Hull Royal. And I was under the specialist Hull Royal from when I was 7 and had all these tests done and said you have these conditions, till when I was 12, 13. I saw somebody at Hull Royal. The only reason I swapped hospital was because my spine started joining in. I have got curvature in my spine. So what that meant was my mum noticed it more. As people, if you lay on the floor, if you get somebody else to do it, you can do it at home. Some people do have little bits, but some people have more. My mum could, you lay on the floor and flatten your tummy muscles onto the bottom, flatten the floor. Now, mine you couldn't do that. I tried to flatten myself as low as I could, and my mum could slide her hand under my spine, turn it into a fist, and still have room to move. This is a big problem. It's not supposed to do that. So I went to the hospital, and my hospital surgeon back then said there was nothing wrong, it's just the way she's grown, it's fine. My mum, because I was getting a lot of pain in it, my mum said this is not right. So I went back to my GP, who sent me to another surgeon at the hospital, who looked at it, had x-rays, had me in the next couple of weeks, a week later, for a CT scan. They did the CT scan. They rung my mum up on the Friday and said, don't worry, but the doctor wants to see you on the Monday. He's in meetings all day, but don't worry about it. Come and see me this time. So we went to the hospital on the Monday to go see him. And he said, I don't have the expertise. She needs to go to Sheffield. I'm now over at Sheffield Hospital. I had doctor's appointments and stuff, and they were watching it for so many months. And they noticed I had a bone falling off my spine. Now, what that would mean is I would have been paralysed by now from the waist down. I'm not. Because of the brilliant surgeon there, who basically put 6 titanium screws and rods into my spine to hold it. When I come out of the surgery and everything, he said, oh, that was a bit close. Now, if I didn't have the surgery, yes, I would have been paralysed. Thank goodness for the NHS and their brilliant surgeons, they fixed it. 2 years later, I had to go in again, because the bone above that one started falling off. So I had to go in again and do it. I now have a curve in my spine. It's always going to be there. It's never going to go away. I'm always going to have a slight hunch. Not as bad as Richard III or Hunchback of Notre Dame, though I bet they did have kyphosis. But the other conditions they diagnosed me with spondylitis dysplasia. Try saying that when you're drunk. It's hard saying it when you're sober. That basically means, well, it means that your bones are wrong shape and da-da-da-da-da-da. Multiple bones and this while falling off and da-da-da-da-da-da. I diagnosed it. I basically thought they were playing Scrabble. So I researched myself. And what it seemed to me was sort of stature, knackered bones. Simple. Why can't I just do simple words? No, they have to give me long names. So anyway, I liked the hospital so much, I transferred over to my other bone conditions. And have been over there all since. They're absolutely brilliant, fantastic surgeons. If you do have issue bone-wise or anything, go to Sheffield. If you can, they're brilliant. I wouldn't fault them, they've been brilliant ever since. So on the 17th of December, I'm going in for an operation. Not a big op, small op. Won't take long. What they're going to do is stuff me steroid injections into my hips to keep them going. Because I've just been recently diagnosed with arthritis in them. So they're going to be putting steroid injections in there to keep them moving. And my brother's trotting. He's playing this game. But they're going to be steroid injections to keep them moving. Sorry, the surgeon just get chocolates and biscuits. He's done it before with me and it seemed to work, so I'm doing it again. Because of COVID, it's had to be waited a bit longer. Instead of doing it March, April time, when I was meant to have it, May time, he said by August. It's now December, so only a few minutes late, but we can blame COVID, naughty thing. They've also given me a TENS machine. So later, tomorrow sometime, I'll teach how to use a TENS machine and what it's for and why you have to use one, if you like me and got pain. But this is only the first video, just general background. I'll try not showing videos of seizures because I don't think it's fair to anybody to see them. I've known lots of people who, including myself, who see a seizure, oh dear, our body instantly goes into one too. So I'll explain them tomorrow in another video. But we'll keep with the pen side and then we'll explain the non-epileptic anxiety do-free what's-its later. I know it seems quite a lot of information to just about basically what it all is, but this is me, this is what I cope with. And yes, you do have down days, yes, you have good days, yes, you have bad days, yes, you have good days, but you can still do things even though you are in pain. I do a lot of photography, I do sewing, I do knitting, I like playing with my dog, He's taught to put things on my lap so then I don't have to bend down. Makes it so much easier. And other things, even though you've got these problems. So I'll explain more. So that's just general background information for now. Okay,